Well, hey everyone, Seth Campbell here. Welcome back to Segway Plays Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. In the last episode, we finished off a series of little side quests here on Windfall Island, and it is finally time to head out and proceed with our quest. And as I said in the last one, even though Gale Isle is right above us, I'm actually going to go to Headstone Island first, because I prefer to do that one first, and everyone I know has always done it that way first. And now that we have the power bracelets and the iron boots, we should be able to tackle both of these islands respectively. So let's just go to Outset and sail east. You see, this is where the swift sail would come in handy, admittedly, in terms of not having to bother changing the wind direction every time. Although, I'm still conflicted on the concept of the swift sail, because in some sense I feel like it's cheating, almost. You know, to a degree, I think, the whole constantly having to change the wind is part of what this game is about. And another part of me thinks, well, I had to suffer with it as a kid. Now all these people playing the new version don't have to bother. But on the other hand, I can definitely see times when it would really be helpful. So, and you don't, I think you can use the regular sail as well after you get the swift sail. So, if you feel like playing it fair, if you will, you can still do that. But there is Headstone Island right in front of us. And I want to try one thing before we enter the dungeon, because if I remember correctly, there is one other thing about this island that interests us. And what we have to do to get it is actually take control of another gull. And fly up. Now, as I'm doing this, well, first of all, some rupees, some magic, or some hearts and some magic there if we need them. I was reading, again, as I mentioned in the last episode, the Legend of Zelda Encyclopedia, and it has developer's notes for every game, and it just talks about little things, sort of did you know. One of the things is that apparently the sound for the seagull cries that you're hearing are actually heavily manipulated clips of elephant sounds, like the, elephant calls. I mean, if I heard that anywhere else, I wouldn't believe it, but this book is full of official information, and it cites its sources as well. So, I guess it's true. If anyone out there watching this video can link to any more concrete proof of that in the comments, please do. I'd love to hear it. I don't want to get hit, because if you get hit by a cannonball or whatever, then you lose control of the gull. But there it is. Yep, piece of heart on top of the island, and I want it, and these things don't control very well. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, come on. I flew right through it. Got it. Okay, yes. And so now we can press R to return to Link, and magically the piece of heart will be given to us. But now, it is finally time. These cool little, ornate little crabs you can see in a lot of beaches. And this, another sound thing that was referenced in that book is that it said walking in the desert, but there really is no desert. So I think it's more about walking on sand. That footstep sound you hear is made with potato chips, apparently. And as we have seen before, we can now throw those stone heads out of our way. And this is interesting. What's our first? It's another stone that teaches us a melody, and it's the first one to be in 6/4. So we have to hold the control stick to the right. Oops, got stuck again. You learned the Earth God's lyric. O great hero, chosen by the Master Sword. My name is Laruto. I am a Zora sage. For an age, I offered my prayers here in the Earth Temple, praying that the power to repel evil would ever remain within the Master Sword. And yet, unfortunately, due to Ganondorf's evil designs, the Master Sword you hold has lost this power. After his defeat at the hands of the Hero of Time, Ganondorf was sealed away, but not for all time. He was revived, and he returned to Hyrule in red wrath. He attacked this temple and stole my soul, knowing that he had to remove the power contained in that enchanted blade. In order to return the power to repel evil to your sword, you must find another to take my stead in this temple and ask the gods for their assistance. You must find the one who carries on my bloodline, the one who holds this sacred instrument. Nothing can stop the flow of time or the passing of generations, but the fate carried within my bloodline endures the ravages of all the years. It survives. The song you have just conducted is one which will open the eyes of the new sage and awaken within that sage the melody that will carry our prayers to the gods. The door that blocks your way will only open when the sage plays that song. May the winds of fortune blow with you. Well, that was an unexpected setback. It seems Ganondorf has taken the soul from the sage who had protected this temple and guarded the sword. So the King of Red Lions was right. Something has indeed happened to the sages, or at least this one. And we need to find the person who carries on her bloodline. Now, you may remember a couple episodes ago, we found ourselves next to Dragon Roost Island, and we heard the sound of a harp. I wonder if that could be the same harp that Laruto was playing. So perhaps we should go to Dragon Roost Island. Seems as good a place to start as any. Well, you can just barely hear it. Seems to be somewhere up there. Maybe if we investigate in the Rito village, we'll learn something. I can hear it, and it is very much jarring because the chords being played on it are nothing anywhere near the background music for this island. We seem to be pretty close to it, so maybe the person with the harp is above us. Like I swear, they're playing the worst possible chords to play over this music. Like, you couldn't be farther off if you tried. I guess it really wants to get your attention. I wonder, the guy around here needed golden feathers. Did he want 10 or 20? I think he also might have wanted 20, but let's double check. Hey, that's what my girlfriend wants, a golden feather. So how many of these you have? Yeah, well, when you get 20 of those, would you let me have them? I know she only wanted one, but if I give my girl 20 of them, I'll be loving life. I'd like to get out and gather them on my own, but, well, you know, I've got guard duty and all. Okay, so it is 20, like most of the spoils, I guess. And here's the Rito chieftain. Ah, Link, I hoped I would get this chance to thank you in person. Medley told me everything. I am extremely grateful for all that you have done. It seemed that you have helped my son Komali find his courage as well. You have done so much for us. I thank you. By the way, are you using our post boxes? Well, as you might know, since you left the island, all letters and packages addressed to you have been delivered to whatever post box was nearest you. Of course, the system is not perfect. You tend to move around a lot, so be sure to check any moving post box any moving post boxes you find in your travels. Do not forget. See, I was thinking about that. I guess that kind of means that if there are letters for you in the post box on one island and you leave that island and go to another island with a post box, the letters are then taken to that island. Okay, this is the way to Dragon Roost Cavern. I don't actually want to go here. We want to go out onto the higher decks, which I believe are here near the postal deck. The postal desk. Wait a minute. Playing the harp. Could that be... It is! It's our old friend Medley. So that must mean she is the new sage. So we should go talk to her, right? Wrong! If you want to complete the Nintendo Gallery before you play the song to Medley, for some ridiculous, inexplicable, mind-numbingly frustrating reason, this guy, this no-name NPC, standing on this deck here, this ordinary Rito who plays no part in this story whatsoever, he will disappear after you play the song to Medley. I have no clue why. As a kid, I worked so hard to fill the Nintendo Gallery. In some cases, as you might expect, I made things harder than they needed to be in terms of getting the right pictographs of people. I took full advantage of the safety net as best I could. And I was very careful. I figured, okay, this character probably disappears. You know, this enemy disappears. The one thing I did not count on is that one random, useless, pointless NPC was going to disappear at this point of all points in the story. It makes no sense, and again, I used up the safety net, which is something I'll explain at a later date. And so, in order to complete the Nintendo Gallery, the only thing I could do was start the entire game over again. I'm a completionist. I like to complete things, collections in particular. I'm a collector in real life of various things. This made me so mad. I don't know if it was just like an accident or if they specifically intended to trip you up with this. But it's ridiculous. Why? Why, Nintendo? Why did you do this? So this, we have to, I mentioned very early in this game that I don't like this guy. That's why. What we have to do, before we take a picture of Medley, we have to take a picture of this guy. But the other thing is that it's supposed to be a full body picture. So if you really want to get a full body picture, you can't really do it from here because he's not facing you head on. Maybe I can angle this just a little bit better. Yeah, I'm going to take a couple just to be safe. I don't need these anymore. I think maybe this'll do. Maybe this is close enough to being a front photograph. Pictograph. Yeah, so this jerk's name... What is Kogali? One of the various reader names. Is there a... yeah, okay, there is a grapple point up there. Again, he has no significance. Does he have anything to say? I wonder what he has to say. You can hear that song coming from up on the cliff, can't you? Such beautiful tone. Medley's really gotten good. Yep. He's got nothing to say. Nothing to contribute. No purpose for being here at all. And yet, he has the power to single-handedly torpedo your Nintendo Gallery figurine collecting efforts. And that just makes me mad. I don't like him, but I did vow that I was going to try my darndest to complete the Nintendo Gallery. And especially with, you know, the memory card acting up and all that, it's really important that I be careful how I do it, so... Kogali, I hate you, and whoever programmed Kogali to disappear after this point in the story, I hate you even more! Had to get that off my chest. Oh, Link, you're okay. You know, Prince Kamali's been asking me all about your adventures, Link. I can rest easy now that I've seen you safe and sound with my own eyes. Prince Kamali's turned into a fine young adult, hasn't he? Recently, he's even begun doing things on his own without my guidance. Every conversation still ends up centered on you, though, Link. Watching Prince Kamali grow up fills me with pride, but it makes me a little sad as well. I wonder if this is how a mother feels. Oh, but just listen to me go on. How weird I must sound. Well, I'd better continue practicing so that I can be useful around here, too. Performing music like this is an important duty of an attendant. Actually, I want to take a picture of Medley now as well. She's not going to disappear out of our sights yet, but this will just be easier. But the sage Laruto told us to play the song we learned at the temple entrance for the new sage. Hey, is that the Wind Waker? Wow! Link, will you conduct me? I wonder how I'll do. What a mysterious song. It sounds so familiar. It's almost as if something I've forgotten is trying to be remembered. Oh, I feel... Just now, a sage spoke to me. She spoke so gently. There's something that I must do. Link, thanks to you, I've been awakened to the knowledge that I'm a sage of the Earth Temple. It's actually something that I can do to help this world. It's incredible. I bet my teacher knew all about this. Link, please, you must take me to the Earth Temple. We must hurry and wake the power to repel evil that sleeps within the Master Sword. Let's go now, quickly and quietly. Oh, Kamali. I just want him to remember me as a simple attendant. It's actually kind of sad. Kamali landing, but they're no longer there. Yes, so we are automatically back to the King of Red Lions with Medley in tow. This is a rare occasion that someone else rides in the boat with us. Now, we can of course theoretically go straight to the Earth Temple, but because of my memory card woes, I want to go to the Forest Haven first and drop off the pictographs, particularly those of the useless, pointless NPC Kogali. I think his name's Kogali. I don't even care. At the Nintendo Gallery. While we're doing that, though, a couple quick things I want to talk about. One, as we just saw, the Rito apparently descended from the Zora, the fish people we have seen in many other Legend of Zelda games. So I guess when Hyrule Kingdom was sealed away below a new ocean, the Zora somehow evolved from fish to birds. Of course, this is all complicated by the more recent game Breath of the Wild, in which Zora and Rito both exist, so how that works out I'll never know, but yes, that's interesting. And actually, if you notice the little symbol on the vest, or I guess the little poncho Medley wears, it's the little three sort of moon shapes is the Zora symbol. So you were kind of clued into that early on. Another thing. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. A figurine that I had him make was ready. Okay, let's see. I want to see if this one works. Oh, no, it doesn't. Good thing I did. Faces are the very... What did voice say? Faces are the very soul of all figurines. If you don't give me a shot where the subject is completely facing the picto box, I'm afraid I can't craft a figurine for you. So yeah, this better be good enough. It is. Okay. So yeah, you even have to go to that extra length for this guy. But anyway, as I pass the time to make the figurine appear and then hand off the pictograph of Medley, I will talk about something else. Is that if you noticed, the melody that we learned from the stone that we had to play for Medley is actually the first 6 notes of the main theme of this game, which you hear every time you turn the game on and start at the main menu. But it doesn't sound anything like that when it's played without any real tempo, when all the notes are given equal length. It just, oops, no, I need to make it the next day. Just ba 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 ba. So it's just that there's no rhythm or rhyme to it, and then when the choir that you are conducting plays it, it sounds even more like its own thing. And it's not until Medley and Laruto are playing it together that you realize it's actually and I just think that's such a cool revelation. It really startled me as a kid, but it's something I love. It actually reminds me, my mentor who taught me everything that, well, basically we all knew I wanted to go to Berklee College of Music, and my mentor who went to Berklee basically taught me everything he wished he knew. Wait, is it? Oh, it's already, okay. Everything he wished he knew going into Berklee, and so one of the things he taught me would be ear training, and that he would play a melody and I would have to transcribe it without looking at what he was playing, just by hearing it. And because my eyes are so bad, my ears are really good, so it was easier for me than other aspects would be. But I remember one time he played a series of notes. It was a very unusual series of notes. Da, 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 da. I thought, that's an odd melody. And so I asked him at the end, so was that a melody from anything? And he said, yes, as a matter of fact, it was. It was the guitar riff at the intro of one of his band's songs. But not just any of his band songs, one of my absolute favorite songs by them. But I didn't notice it because it was completely out of rhythm. And what it would normally sound like would be da 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 da. So it goes to show you just how much rhythm adds to your song. Sure, any musicians already know that, but just a fun little story, and I always sort of connected that with this game in my head. And I figured I'd kill some time and tell that story, but it is now time. Oh, perfect. The wind's already facing the right way. To take Medley to the Earth Temple. Medley, listen carefully to what I'm about to tell you. The temple ahead is the nest of an evil creature, the same creature that stole the life of your predecessor, the sage. It is a dark and frightening place. That is why, if you do nothing else, then at least do this. If Link comes near you and presses R to call you, then be silent and follow closely behind him. And if Link presses A, allow him to lift you, and if need be, fly and carry him through the air. And Link, if Medley gets stuck and cannot continue in the temple, use the Wind Waker to conduct the song you learned in the Tower of the Gods. Do you understand? Link, protect Medley, and Medley, protect Link. The power to repel evil shall surely be returned to the Master Sword. All right. Well, here we are, in front of this stone. And I think we will call this episode here, and in the next episode, play this melody and venture, with Medley in tow, into the Earth Temple. See you next time.